I will crush anyone who blocks my path.
The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses.
All of you have committed a breach of faith. The Archbishop will now pass judgment.
Inciting a kingdom noble to rebel. Unlawful entry. The attempted assassination of the Archbishop. An attack on the Holy Mausoleum.
Okay, to be fair, they never actually tried to assassinate the Archbishop. Like, that one is, they threatened to.
It is unnecessary to go on, followers of the Western Church.
What? We have nothing to do with the Western Church.
You have already been identified. Please spare us your second-rate theater.
That is interesting, because obviously when I saw this the first time, I actually thought that might be true, but now that we know that there are those who slither, so they may actually have nothing to do with the Western Church.
Dishonoring a holy ceremony is worthy of death for a member of the Church. You are well past the hope of redemption. If you have any grace remaining, you will willingly offer your life as atonement for this crime.
No, this isn't what we were told would happen. We've been deceived.
Yeah, exactly. They're following orders that they don't. I don't even know if they probably don't even know where the orders are coming from.
It's no use arguing. Whatever your excuse, the punishment stands. May your souls find peace as they return to the goddess.
Wait, please. The goddess would never forgive you for our execution.
Why? You obviously don't stand for her. You stand for those that tried to kill her in ages past.
Monster. We know you've already slaughtered many of our fellow brethren like this.
This concludes the investigation. Please remove these poor lost souls from my sight.
Interesting reaction from Edelgard.
The assassination attempt, the attack on the Holy Mausoleum. It was all the Western Church's doing. That masked knight who led the attack somehow managed to disappear without a trace.
Yeah, friggin' teleporters. Stretching things out way too long. Though granted, I don't think we could have taken him.
The Church of Seiros clearly isn't as unified as it would hope to appear. It seems the bishop of the Western Church was always opposed to the Church being ruled centrally from Garreg Mach. Perhaps they hoped to remove the Archbishop in order to completely strip the Central Church of its authority.
I know who the Central Church is. That would be a dumb question.
Oh, that's right. Geralt mentioned that you were raised without any exposure to the Church.
Is there a Northern and a Southern Church as well? I've heard of the Eastern and Western.
In order to function more efficiently, the Church of Seiros is split into several smaller entities. The Central Church is the largest, and leads the organization from Garreg Mach.
The Western Church extends from Castle Gaspar, where Lord Lenato rebelled, into the far west.
Okay, Western Church is to the west. That makes sense.
They can be found just beyond the most renowned stronghold of the kingdom, the fortress city of Aryan Road.
I wonder if we'll have to fight there later. Actually, we might not. It's always weird because it's the setup for two different playthroughs. But obviously, I think the Church group will have to fight at Aryan Road. I'm not sure that the Edelgard group will have to, because they hold it.
It seems the knights have been tasked with subduing the leaders of the Western Church. We may be given the opportunity to help them with their mission.
To think, our own professor was born in Fodlan, and yet knew nothing of the Church.
Yep, the Church isn't nearly as important as you guys seem to think it is.
I never imagined explaining something so basic to an instructor of mine. You're something of a special case, are you not?
Well, you actually didn't explain anything, but hey, good job trying to take credit for others' accolades. You do that a lot.
How strange that the Archbishop would ask someone like that to lead her students. There's clearly more to that decision than we know.
Lady Rhea is pretty scary sometimes. But to execute that whole group, just like that? It seems harsh, even for her.
If one of us does something bad, I wonder what she would do to us.
Funny you should ask that. I'm sure we will never find out.
Professor, do you agree with the Archbishop's actions?
That is a very, very weighted question.
There you are, Professor. It seems Lady Rhea would like a word with you. Come with me.
Oh, and I don't even get the chance to weigh in.
The Archbishop lives.
It is interesting and very logical that the Imperial kids are affected a lot more, because there was some discussion of this, but not nearly as much condemnation of Rhea. But they're definitely setting this path up for a potential, like, opposition to the church. Although, I still wish Claude's route had been more opposed to the church, because he was, of all of them, he was the noble scion that was always like, I don't really know about the church. This seems sketchy. But then his path just sort of like saved Rhea and went down a super yay church route. It was weird.
Not that I had ever placed much faith in those swine from the Western Church.
I have news, both good and bad. The remains of Saros were not in a tomb. However, something else was. The Sword of the Creator.
Ah, the weapon wielded by that thief, the King of Liberation.
Every single time I read that as the King of Libation. Every time, without fail.
Thief? Huh. At any rate, it is now in the hands of the Academy's new professor. I doubt you will be surprised to hear that the Crest Stone had already been removed from the sword when it was found.
As expected. It would be foolish to keep both in the same location.
There's more. The professor was able to awaken the sword's true power.
Which obviously means he has the same blood as the King of Liberation. Or Libation. Or both!
Even without the Crest Stone, the sword glowed red. The professor's crest is compatible. There is no mistaking it.
And of course we now know that Edelgard also has the Crest of Flames, which means she, in theory, should be able to use the Sword of the Creator. I wonder if she actually can. If I give it to her, I wouldn't, because they've got to push me down the path where she uses axes, but that would be interesting.
Absurd. Using a relic without its crest stone should be impossible. The King of Liberation's bloodline should not even...
They must be allowed to keep it, for now. I do not have enough information about the professor to act. As for your request, I assent. The Death Knight is at your command. Use him well.
Good. I believe I will enjoy this a great deal.
I cannot thank you enough for defeating those invaders in the Holy Mausoleum.
You could try, though.
Especially for protecting the Sword of the Creator. That sword is one of the hero's relics, and the most precious artifact in the Church's possession.
Therefore, I'm giving it to you! Although, to be fair, unlike what happened in the DLC, letting him keep the Sword of the Creator does actually make sense, because it's, like, it actually resonates with his blood. Like, there's a very good argument for arguing that it is his birthright.
It is also a weapon of terrifying power. For now, I will entrust the sword to you. Please, use it wisely.
Lady Rhea, wait. Do you truly mean to give the Sword of the Creator to this stranger? Surely it is not the sort of thing one hands over so readily, even to someone who has the ability to wield it.
And again, I understand his viewpoint, but at the same time, I do kind of question why he considers, Byleth, I can't remember what I freaking named him, Tarash, a stranger, when Tarash has actually been here for like 4 months now. Like, that's not a, I can understand it's like we barely know him, but stranger?
If someone like Nemesis were to appear again, all of Fodlan would be consumed by war. Nemesis, the King of Liberation. He is an ancient king of mankind who was defeated by Saros over 1,000 years ago. When Fodlan was attacked by wicked gods, it is said that the goddess gifted Nemesis with the Sword of the Creator.
This confused me so much the first time I heard it.
Nemesis used that sword to defeat the wicked gods, saving all of Fodlan. Henceforth, he was dubbed the King of Liberation. However, his power began to corrupt him until he himself turned to the darkness. Saint Saros was forced to destroy him.
Well, she didn't do a very good job.
Lady Rhea, I beg you to reconsider. Given a little more time, we could more accurately assess this stranger's abilities.
No. I have faith, Seteth. Faith that our friend here will not be corrupted by wickedness.
That is interesting. It's so like, oh god, I can't argue against the claim of faith. Shit.
Since the death of Nemesis, none have been able to wield the sword of the Creator. Now, after all those long years of being sealed away, it has returned and found a new master.
I understand. As you wish, Lady Rhea. There you have it, Professor. See that you do not betray the trust the Archbishop has seen fit to bestow upon you.
Oh, I'm sure I won't.
The sword of the Creator?
Totally sure.
The King of Liberation? Each tale is more confusing than the last.
I certainly agree.
And I really can't read that Rhea at all. That sword is clearly precious. So why is she so keen to gift the thing to you?
Well, she's actually trying to give it to you, we just don't know that yet.
Is that a fact?
Absolutely, it woke up, didn't you notice?
I feel as though we have become entangled in a mystery.
Wrapped in a paradox.
And there is one more thing that has been plaguing me. The sword of the Creator. It somehow feels distinct from other relics we have seen. Such as the one that... Oh goodness, what
Catherine!
was her name? Yes, her! The sword of the Creator is different from her Thunderbrand in one key way.
Well, it doesn't have the stone, yeah.
It bears a hole, where something should have been, but is no more. I despise not knowing what is going on. It frightens me. And yet...
It's so funny how she talks to me without actually, like, caring what I have to say.
Whatever comes to pass, please swear to cut a path that is your own.
Part 1. White Clouds. Verdant Rain Moon. Tower of Black Winds.
I'm not sure what this is. I can't remember. Oh, this is where we come across the Demon Beast. This is actually where I lost people the first time through.
The landscape of Fodlan are accompanied by fierce winds and mighty roars of thunder. This abundance of rain, sparkling as it falls against beams of emerging sunlight, is a constant reminder to the people of Fodlan that nature is ever wild and unpredictable. For when the rain finally does take pause, the clouds part and give way to a glorious rainbow.
I really want to see this entire tapestry, because I feel like they're all connected. Don't favor food and beauty with magic. That's kind of hilarious, actually. I approve.
I have a new mission for you, Professor.
I should hope so.
I would like for you to take your students into Kingdom territory to eliminate some thieves.
They stole a hero's relic from House Gautier of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, the Lance of Ruin. Their leader's name is Miklan. He is apparently a disowned son of House Gautier.
How does this involve us?
This skirmish involves a holy relic, and is therefore more than a single noble is capable of resolving. The hero's relics are immensely powerful weapons. We must meet this threat with adequate force. Unfortunately, most of the Knights of Seiros are away from the monastery, purging the apostates of the Western Church.
Alright.
So we are entrusting you with this mission. After all, you wield the Sword of the Creator, which is more than capable of opposing any relic.
The Sword of the Creator is a powerful weapon well beyond the other relics. You have nothing to fear.
I don't know, I definitely let people die the first time I did this mission.
However, To ensure that no harm comes to the students, we will also send the monastery's most skilled individuals to aid you.
I must remind you that you are expected to conduct yourself in a
Yes,
manner
yes, we get it, said it.
of that holy sword. Also, you should know that Professor Hanneman has been looking for you. That is all.
Professor, I heard about our mission for this month.
Did you? Are you eavesdropping?
A thief with a hero's relic is worrisome, but with you at our side, I'm certain we can handle him.
Again, I love the fact that like it was almost never normal for them to get into actual combat experience, and now they're doing it every fucking month.
After all, you have the sword of the Creator. It was allegedly wielded by Nemesis, the King of Liberation. If the legends are true, you hold the power to stand against entire armies. A band of thieves should be nothing. Even the most elite Imperial forces or the Knights of Seiros could not hope to defeat you.
Well, I start to see now why having me opposing her caused her such consternation in the other paths.
Is that so? Even if those forces were to hurt someone precious to you?
Interesting that she's really driving this point.
Can you say with full confidence that you would not turn your sword on them if that were to happen? You know, your power does not lie solely in the sword of the Creator.
Oh, I'm quite aware.
You are stronger and more terrifying than you realize.
Don't be scared. I'm a good person.
Professor, when we leave the monastery, will you still think of yourself as my teacher?
If we left the monastery?
Never mind. I'm being thoughtless with my words.
So interesting, these scenes with her, especially now that we know what's coming. I almost wish I had done this one first, although I have heard people that start off with Edelgard's story have a hard time replaying the game because they have a hard time seeing her as an enemy.
For now, let's just focus on the problem at hand.
Good of you to come, Professor. I've heard much about you lately.
I'm very popular.
Specifically, that you are able to awaken the Sword of the Creator's power. Thusly, it seems the true nature of your crest has been uncovered. I had, of course, seen your crest before. However, at first, I failed to recognize its true nature.
I do wonder how something like the Crest of Flames is not something that every single crest historian has emblazoned in their mind. No pun intended.
Eventually, it dawned on me that what is visible is perhaps merely a small part of a greater whole. In other words, your crest is too significant to be detected when using normal instruments.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
After this discovery, I began researching crests that might fit that description, which allowed for a temporary hypothesis. However, I could not be certain. The crest my conclusions led me to was far too unusual. A crest thought to have disappeared from this world in the millennium since the fall of Nemesis, the King of Liberation.
Which, of course, I'm guessing that means Nemesis got his crest whenever Sothis granted him the sword. Therefore, the fact that Sothis has been imbued into my being is why I have the crest as well.
The crest of flames. That is what you possess. Your ability to wield the Sword of the Creator has unequivocally proven my hypothesis.
And then that's also why those who slither were doing all those experiments on Lysithea and presumably also Edelgard in order to falsely bestow them with the Crest of Flames. Or specifically Edelgard, I don't think Lysithea has the Crest of Flames. She was their guinea pig on how do we force someone to have a crest.
A legendary power, dormant since time immemorial, and now resurrected. There can be no doubt that this ancient power resides within you.
So why are you telling me this? Okay, apparently no reason. That was just Exposition Joe, I think. Host tea party. I need to buy some more tea.
Thank you for your invitation. To what do I owe this surprise? Thank you.
I don't know why I gave her Tea of the Saints. Obviously, she's not going to be...
Good.
Okay, she doesn't mind it. She's definitely not very saintly. Everyone likes talking about themselves. Word of advice, ideal professor, new gambit. Yep, talk about boys. Somebody you look up to, things that body class might enjoy. Nope. Okay, I guess that must be something I bought that gives me like an out. I didn't used to get those.
You think I complain too much, don't you? I know I do, but I can't help it.
You don't disagree too much. Awesome!
Come on. Every rose has its thorn. Every beautiful leg should have a dagger, don't you think?
Am I looking at a dagger?
Nah. Your gaze is sensuous. I don't hate it.
Interesting. I can get all the way behind her? Weird. I guess she turned away, actually.
Thanks for the treat. Come by the infirmary anytime you need anything. I'll be waiting, Professor.
The orange lipstick and eyeshadow is so weird to me. Okay, interesting. I don't get to explore. Sure. Oh, I can finally do Edelgard. Not like that.
Save.
So we've definitely never seen these before.
We are within a monastery. No ghost would dare set foot in here.
I don't know.
What is that look upon your face? I didn't know ghost, if that is what was on your mind.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
No. Who's there?
Interesting she's having a nightmare about her dad, because her dad's still alive as far as I know.
Professor, what are you doing here?
Why are you fully dressed in the middle of the night?
Oh? Perhaps I was talking in my sleep.
This seems horribly... man, Sedith would not approve of this at all.
So you heard me then. Yes, it was a nightmare. I've had them since I was a child. Stupid, pointless dreams I can't control. It's terribly frustrating.
Hey, what are they about?
Just my childhood. A time before I had realized who I was destined to become. I had a feeling you'd say that. I suppose I could try.
I mean, you've already been trying to a certain degree.
But only if you swear not to tell a soul. I appreciate it. I dream of my older brother, paralyzed, helpless. My older sister crying for help that never came. The youngest babbling words beyond meaning. I see my family dying slowly, waiting in the darkest depths for a glimmer of light. I once had 10 siblings, 8 older and 2 younger.
That, I had no idea about her family. That's super interesting, actually.
Such a large family, and yet I became the heir to the throne. Do you know why?
Because you mercilessly killed off all the others? Probably not, actually.
Every last one of them was crippled by disease, or lost their mind, or died.
Oh, damn. Well, I'm not sure how sane you are, to be fair.
I was the only one left who could inherit the throne.
Yeah, how? What is wrong with your blood?
Things kept getting worse. The darkness kept getting darker. In the end, I was the only one who survived. The nightmares are a reminder. To never forget. To never allow such terrible things to happen again. Even now, I'm the only one who can carry the weight of the Adrestian Empire.
That is very true. They definitely have piled the rocks up on your spirit.
The future of the Empire, of everything, depends on me. I shared more than I intended to. I suppose there's something in the air tonight.
That's okay. This is actually... Because I had no idea. Both Claude and Dimitri largely were single children, as far as I know. Like, Claude was found. He wasn't raised with his noble parents. But still, I didn't hear about siblings. But she has a massive family. Her poor mom.
I've never told anyone about my past before. Please, forget I said anything. Sleep well, my teacher.
All right. And we do have one certification to do because Balthus did hit level 10. But I don't have any intermediate skills. I thought I picked an intermediate skill up in the battle. Huh. It's odd. Oh well, I can still buy it real quick. Not a big deal. So Balthus can either be a brigand or a brawler. Definitely want him as a brawler.
Was there ever any doubt?
Nope. That's what happens. We have a 100% chance. Is that there is no doubt. This is also odd because it says he. No, okay, still 0. I'm like, why does it show that he can move up when he can't move up? Confusing. Okay. Other than that, let's explorinate.
A stone? A stone. I do not understand. Yet, as I think of it, the pounding in my chest grows faster still.
The stone in the middle of the sword?
Is that me? Or is it you?
Alright, so you know what happens now. We have to figure out our supports. Edelgard surprisingly has none. She actually is B rank with those and she just won't move up yet. Refuses to do anything here. Weird, okay. Unexpected. So you actually have Yuri B rank. You know me, I love to save Yuri for the end. Like, or really, it's not even Yuri, it's the Ashen Wolves. I love to save the Ashen Wolves for the end. So Hubert has Caspar. Oh, that'll be interesting. Caspar, you're a brawler.
I'm not finished with you. I am Caspar!
Wow, he's got a lot more rage in him than I realized.
What's going on, Hubert? You need something?
I watched you training earlier. Pitiful display.
Oh, shush up.
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean?
You yell before every move.
I know. I do it on purpose. It's how I get fired up. Is that a problem for you? You scared?
Stupid habit. If you value your life, you'll break it.
What are you talking about? It sounds like you might have a problem with me.
As a matter of fact, I do. If it was only your own idiotic life at stake, I wouldn't bother saying anything. But it's not. Your foolishness hurts everyone.
Ooh, you sure do love to hear yourself talk.
Suppose you were to shout on the battlefield as you did in your training today. It is very likely the enemy could anticipate your next move based on your insipid blather. And what if your allies are startled by your outburst and fumble with their weapons as a result?
Well, they should be better with their weapons, obviously.
This is not to mention the obvious fact that you would utterly botch any covert operation.
You really think I'm that stupid? I only shout when it's completely necessary. I don't do it all the time.
Whatever habits you develop in training, you will reproduce on the battlefield. Combat is tense and frantic. You will default to your training whether you mean to or not.
That is actually a very fair point.
Hey, why don't you just shut up about it? I can control myself.
Alright, so Caspar also has one with Annette. Oh, interesting. That's not what I expected to see, but I'll sure watch it.
That was my worst mistake yet. Why am I so clumsy all the time? The women laughed and forgave me, but... Oh, how am I supposed to face them now?
Ooh, what happened though? That sounds like a story.
Hey there, Annette. What's with the sour face? Everything okay? I don't think I've ever seen you look so miserable.
Don't tease me like that, Caspar. Can't you see I'm down?
I like the short people hanging out.
Sorry. You know I didn't mean it. Did something happen? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I think talking it out might help.
You might be right about that. Are you sure you don't mind?
Not at all.
Well, today they were short on staff in the dining hall, so
Oh, I can already see how this ended in tragedy.
But I sort of messed up. Big.
Oh no. What happened?
All the plates in the kitchen went flying through the air, and the pots started giving off this weird blue steam.
Wow, sounds more like art than cooking to me.
The people in the dining hall saw the chaos and started panicking, and then soldiers came running. Finally, Catherine appeared and shut everyone up with a slash of Thunderbrand.
Oh, goddamn!
All I was trying to do was help out. But in the end, I just ended up making more work for everyone. I'm awful like that.
Oh, you're not so bad.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. Accidents happen. It's not like you were trying to make a mess.
I know. The women at the dining hall laughed and forgave me. But...
Was anyone hurt?
Well, no, but...
Well, there you go! No need to dwell on it and keep moping around.
I think I've seen this before, but it's...
a bad day, but I'm sure you'll do better tomorrow.
You know what? You're right. I guess all I can do is try harder next time.
Absolutely. Good job, Annette.
Thanks, Caspar. That really did help me feel better. I can't keep moping around. I've got to work on my cooking skills. And I can count on you to be my taste tester, right? Right.
Sure. Just as long as you're not making any new art projects.
Oh, you poor deluded Caspar. Okay, I was gonna say, and that probably doesn't have any. It's interesting that this group doesn't really have too much. But Ferdinand has Linhardt and Dorothea. Oh, and Marriott. Ferdinand has been getting around. Wow.
Just look at this place. It's so beautiful, I believe I should take a nap and enjoy it properly.
Linhardt, lost in thought, I see. Unacceptable. Are you not aware that a noble's duty is to be ever vigilant?
Rest increases alertness. Is there something I can do for you, Ferdinand?
Well, that's true, but only when you're not resting.
Well, I was just passing by, and I thought I could give you a little advice. You always seem to be napping. Why not spend your free time doing something productive?
Easier said than done, Ferdinand. I'm afraid I suffer from a constitution that tires easily.
Some training will remedy that. Let us work on that today. I will train you myself. Arise, Linhardt. The righteous path of the noble lies before you.
Poor Linhardt.
You're always giving it your all, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Is there something wrong with that?
I love how self-conscious he is.
Of course not. In fact, I rather enjoy your demeanor. You go all out even when others wish you wouldn't. You work hard, inspire the admiration of others, and your dignity as a noble is beyond reproach.
I consider it my mission to serve as a guide and a model for other members of the nobility.
As capable as you are striking. Next to you, I am a mere infant.
Good. You're laying it on kind of thick, aren't you, Lenny?
Oh, you are far too kind. Although I do work hard each day to achieve all of which you speak.
You've mastered all the important noble skills. You drink tea, talk about how great you are, ride horses.
Indeed. I went for a ride earlier today.
Is that so? You'll have to tell me about it sometime when I'm not walking away.
Where are you going?
Okay, the ending was a little bit less smooth than I wanted.
I must get some sleep, being the infant that I am. Farewell for now, Ferdinand. Oh, noble among nobles.
Noble among nobles? Seems a bit much. Did he say get some sleep? Hey, wait!
Ah, good old Linhart. I actually, he is growing on me in a very big way. Like a fungus.
Ah, Dorothea. The dining hall seems so much brighter with you here.
Ferdy, I must say you are quite adept with flattery. Please, give me some more.
Flattery? No, I was not... There you go with that attitude again.
What do you mean again? This is your first interaction.
Why do you reserve such cold treatment for me and me alone? Do you hate me, Dorothea? Or have you some other reason to avoid my company?
I underestimated you. I assumed your noble upbringing had dulled your perception. But you got it right on your first try. I hate you.
Huh, I was right. Might I ask why you find me so despicable? I can scarcely guess.
Don't waste another minute thinking about it.
That will not do. I do not think you would hate a person for no reason.
Perhaps. How's this? If you can guess why, I'll let you know if you're right.
This is such an interesting interaction.
The brains of us common folk are so simple, it should be pretty easy for a big shot noble to sort out.
Very well. I cannot walk away from a challenge. I have no choice but to chance a guess. You are always making fun, calling me a big shot and so forth. Perhaps you think all nobles are... No, it cannot be that simple.
Oh? What can't be that simple?
Please, will you not give me a clue?
Oh, you're almost there. Just keep pushing.
Well, let me see. A good clue... I know. It's because you're like a bee.
This is so interesting where she's like, I hate you, but I'm going to play games with you as well.
That ought to be enough of a clue. So long, Ferdy.
A bee? I haven't the slightest. Perhaps because I am such a diligent worker?
Poor Ferdinand. That was very playful. I enjoyed that. And lastly, Miss Marianne. But not the professor.
Are you enjoying this lovely day, Dorte? Everyone seems to be in such good spirits.
Marianne, do you have a moment?
Oh, Ferdinand. What do you need?
I have been thinking about what you said.
I didn't mean to upset you. You should just...
Marianne, don't... How come we don't have any men that, like, constantly think themselves in the way and intolerable? Like, we've got Marianne, who's kind of like that. We've got Bernadetta, who's kind of like that. I can't think of anyone from, Blue Lion that is like that.
You misunderstand. It is not that you upset me.
I guess Ash is a little like that, but not really.
Honestly, you mystify me. You are a noble, and yet you do not wish to be one. Is that not so? I did not expect to hear that from the daughter of Margrave Edmund.
But I'm not actually his daughter. He's a distant relative. We share very little of the same blood.
Yeah, but nobility isn't really about blood. That's relics.
But still, you come from a noble lineage, do you not?
Oh, no. I'm just a minor noble from the countryside.
Minor though it may be, you were born into a noble family, which means you are a noble...
Ferdinand's really got to stop paying so much attention to that.
We did not choose to become nobles. We were born into the nobility.
I understand, but that's why I said I don't care to be responsible. I had no say in the matter.
Marianne,
My parents and I have suffered because of this bloodline and crest. Even so, I am prepared to do what I must, as the daughter of a noble family.
That is interesting, because obviously her crest and her bloodline is, like, kills off her whole family.
But to be told that's still not enough, I just...
I see. I will not pretend to understand.
Oh yeah.
You should try to calm down a bit.
Telling people to calm down always works out for the best.
Certainly things did not turn out the way you had hoped. But the conditions are such that...
The conditions? Those will never change. There's nothing to do but give up. Please just leave. Ignore me.
There will be no convincing you. Very well. I will go.
Oh, Goddess. Why did you curse me with such suffering?
Poor Marianne. Alright, and with that, we are at 40 minutes, so I'll go ahead and end. Next time we run through the rest of these, I'm curious how much there is. There's Dorothea's other one. It looks like we actually have a relatively short one. So we should be able to get through all of them in the next episode, and possibly, like, tour the area. I'm not sure. I will try and finish it off, because it doesn't look like we have that much this month. And then, yeah, episode after, we should hopefully be cruising into the next fight. Hopefully I won't actually lose someone this time. That's always good.